Well, good morning, everyone. It is that time again. Time for us to revisit the world of not Harry Potter, but instead the true world of wizards and witches and magical beings who go to a school that isn't Hogwarts and take all kinds of classes and stuff like that. So, SJ is narrating this particular story. So, kick us off.
Cool. So I am SJ. I'm wearing sunglasses because I have a slight concussion and I'm a bit light sensitive. So that's the reason for that. We're playing Kids on Brooms, which is kind of a spin-off of Kids on Bikes. It's pretty different. Just a reminder, they all have stats for every little skill they have, like brawn, brain, flight, fight. Uh, and then they also have a magic die if they're using magic. If they roll the max on their die, it's called a lucky break, and they get to keep rolling. So even if something seems absolutely impossible, there's a small chance that they can still make the roll. And then we have planned actions, uh, which you can get help on, but then you also have actions which are unplanned that you can't get help on. You can't take half your die roll because they're spur of the moment. Does anybody want to try to give a quick synopsis of what happened last time?
Well, let's introduce players and characters first.
Oh, okay. Uh, like I said, I'm SJ, so we'll go to Misha.
All right, I'm Misha or Misha underscore less than three here on Twitch. Where you can find me on Twitter at MishaWea. I'm playing Kels. She is the reluctant oracle trope, which means character-wise, she gets cool visions unexpectedly, but the visions are really just her writing stuff down and then being like, huh, well, that's weird. What did I write down? She ended up in, hold on, I definitely remember the name of the house. The Cephalon house, which is blue and silver colors. I'm prepared for school today. Um, and that's like the people who value knowledge and finding intellect and stuff like that. Yeah, we can go down to Hatter.
Hello, I am Hatter. You can't find me anywhere. I'm just off in the void. I'm playing Brigham Wright. He is a half human, half mermaid, doing the funny klutz trope. And what's interesting about him is because of his half mermaid parentage, he only has one leg and is very clumsy because of that. But he tries his best. Then,
Hi, I'm Sin or sinful underscore underscore potato. You can find me here on Twitch at that username or TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and make art and post it to Instagram. I exist on Twitter and I post stuff to YouTube and I stream on Twitch. And I'll be streaming my masks campaign next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. So that's fun. Uh, I play Aspen, and she's the haughty descendant trope. So she comes from a descendant thing, and it's that her family has a uh, uh, a magical creature sanctuary that takes care of wounded animals or magical creatures, gives a home to those, and then protects the magical creatures. And she's in the Drakenor house. And yeah. Why?
Hello, my name is Twi'lek, and I shall be playing Gustav King. I am very small, only 14 years old, and I am quite scared. But I'm hoping that making friends will be enough to see me through school. Zero.
Yep, I'm Zero Zero Delight or Michael. I am. You can find me here and mostly every Sunday over at the Justice TV program and Licity channels at around 3 p.m., which we'll be playing something fun over there after this. I'm playing Phineas Rook, who is a real weird kid. He was raised by his granny and all of her sisters, who were a coven of hags, and he doesn't really get some of the rules. As I said before stream, he was hut schooled, and this is his first time kind of going to school with other mortal children. And so he's like, why can't I cast magic? And I've been flying around on a broom for a long time, and sure, you can run into trees, but then Granny fixes you. So he's learning how to relate to other people and not doing a very good job at it.
Cool. So now, does anybody want to recap last session?
Yeah, sure. So we all basically were on our transport to school, and we all happened to be sitting in the same place. And then our new friend Izzy, who's friends with everybody, came in and started talking to us about the different houses that we can find at school, which I guess we can quickly recap. You can wave in your house is called. We got Drakenor, which values bravery and courage, but they could be reckless and prideful, and we definitely didn't see any demonstrations of that. And that one's red and gold. And then we have the Cephalon, which is where Kells ended up, and that values intelligence, cunning, and stuff like that, but they might be judgmental or competitive, perfectionist, and so on. That one's blue and silver. We have Calatog, which is green and orange, and they are laid back, humble, wise, but they might be sensitive or spacey. Generally chill. We got Spideris, which is purple and black. They're creative and inventive, but perhaps distractible, obsessive, messy. And then we have Lupersol, which is yellow and pink. And they are extroverted and funny. They like making friends or social climbing, but they might be insecure or pushovers. Value friendship and stuff like that. So those are the 5 houses of Argamas Academy. The school name I definitely remembered and didn't just read suspiciously. So at any rate, we learned all about the houses from Izzy, and I feel like something else happened on the train, but it probably wasn't too important. We had some conversations. We ended up at school, and then we all got in line to get sorted into our houses through cool staff. So we all had like cool visions that told us, some introspective thoughts about where we are as 14-year-olds getting sorted into the houses. I think the surprising one was Aspen not being sorted into what was Calatog for most of her family, right? She was actually sorted in Drakenor, which I think was the surprising thing that had happened. So amusingly, we are all in different houses, and then we learned about let's see, what's his name? Let me grab it up from the. There's a Crimson. There's some. Oh yeah, Izzy told us all about the Crimson Cult stuff that's been happening. There was a raid recently on this Crimson Cult, and one of the kids there. SJ, what's the guy's name?
Calderon.
Yeah, Calderon. He was like supposed to be their chosen one for doing blood magic and stuff like that, but the raid ended that. However, several cultists had died, and notably the Lexor that was one of the Lexors running the raid, he died, and his son Tobias is also at the school. So we caught a lot of like glances of anger and so on. We're like, well, that's interesting. I think also Kels checked her journal and saw a drawing of the Calderon looking extra evil and was like, well, that's weird. Next day went to classes. I think they went pretty well. We tried being friends with Calderon, but he didn't say anything. I stopped by the divination teacher to ask her, hey, is this vision important? She's all like, kids don't need to solve problems, which is dumb advice, I think, as a 14-year-old. So we'll probably get back to that. At any rate, at the end of the day, we were at dinner, and Tobias and his friends went to go bully Calderon by dumping food in a book, which is a tragedy. And Aspen politely asked them to stop one time before punching them, and then we all started fighting. And then I believe the fight ended when the teachers finally were stopped being distracted, and they stopped us. And I think we're at the point where we're about to find out some consequences to our actions.
Yes, you are. So
Sorry.
basically what happened is Phineas cast a spell that was like a bunch of crows and took him and Calder out of harm's way into the hallway nearby. Professor Levi followed that, asked him what happened, if, the wounds were magical or not. That way he could cast a couple healing spells, then take him to the hospital wing. You guys were all restrained by magic by the teachers, and those of you that are hurt are taken to the hospital wing but kept separate. So we're going to start with Phineas and Professor Levi, who they have the hospital wing, and Professor, or Doctor, really, Tatsuya is tending to Cole, and Professor Levi takes Phineas aside. He's gonna be like, can you tell me exactly what happened start to finish?
Well, there are a group of boys, some in our grade, some upperclassmen, who are quite obviously bullies. They believe that they have power over others and choose to use that power to inflict distress. And they seem to have targeted Cal, undoubtedly because of the wrongs of his family, which seems unfair. So, in addition to bullying many of my friends, they began assaulting him and damaging his gear and messing up a book and stuff. I wasn't really paying attention. And Aspen asked them to stop because she's very heroic, and they got up in her face. And it was clear that they were down to clown. So she took care of it. And then I protected Kells from being punched in the face by a much larger, older boy. And then to stop the incitement, I removed myself and Cal.
What do you mean took care of it?
I wasn't paying attention to what I was saying.
You said Aspen took care of it.
Yes, she showed him that picking on girls is not a good idea.
By
demonstrating that some people will stand up for themselves and others by punching him in the face.
Was any
yes
magic used defensively?
Oh yes, of course. I cast a minor shield spell to protect Kells from being hit in the face.
Offensively?
Oh, offensively, no, I don't think so.
Did Calder cast any magic?
Oh, of course not. He just sat there and was taking a beating, which I understand. I mean, he couldn't very well do anything. It would just play into the prejudices of the other students.
Okay.
Also, he seems very sad to me.
Yes. What was that spell you cast to get you and Calder into the hallway?
Oh, I transformed myself into a murder of crows, and then flew myself, obviously, and Cal around the corner.
And you learned that
From my granny. Or maybe it was one of her sisters. I can't remember.
right. So I don't know your full situation. I saw you in one of Calder's classes earlier today, and asked about you. So I know a little bit. I know you weren't really affected by the Crimson Cult, but I know you deal with your own struggles. You're coming from somewhere different. I think it'd be good if you would see your house counselor if you haven't already been made to do so.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yes, every house has a counselor. So your counselor, you're Spaderis, so your Miss Greco would be your house counselor.
I will look her up. Is there a particular reason?
Change is hard.
Is it?
Yeah, even good change is stressful.
Oh.
And if you don't feel comfortable going to her, I want you to know you can come to me. I don't think you've had a male figure in your life. So
well, not ones that lasted very long.
Right. So if it's something, even if it's as simple as learning how to tie your tie or styling your hair or shaving, I'm happy to show you.
Crazy hair. Sure.
Just so you know.
Well, I appreciate that, Professor.
I do appreciate you reaching out to Calder. I saw you and your group in one of his classes, encouraging him to sit with you. Try not to take it personally if he doesn't talk a lot. It's not personal. He just has a hard time. Because he was raised. He wasn't allowed to speak unless spoken to. And even so, it was only to members of the cult. So he's still shaking that feeling of like he's doing something wrong when he speaks.
Oh.
So just be patient. Do encourage him to speak, just, slowly. I think it would be good if you two kind of stick together.
Well, of course.
So these bullies, was one of them, do you know their names at all?
Well, there was the big one. That was being incredibly rude to Gustav. Mix something. And then there was the one whose parent died. And then there were some others. Yes. And then there were several others.
Okay.
I can show you.
That's not surprising. I'm sure the teachers are dealing with it right now, and I was just curious. Are you hurt at all?
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
Aspen was quite heroic, I must say. We were very surprised when she was sorted into whatever that house was. I'm still confused about the exact nature of all the different houses. I think I was led to believe that the makeup was different. But then again, Granny was probably thinking about times past. Anyway, we were all surprised that she was sorted into the, I'm the hero one. But clearly, it was a good choice. Standing up for the downtrodden seems to be a natural instinct for her.
The categories are pretty broad. You could be a hero from any house, honestly. I'm going to go ask Calder some questions. I would just stay here. I think all the instructors are going to have their own questioning for all the students involved. But
sure. Is it okay if I summon Poe?
Is that your familiar?
Yes.
Sure, just curious. What is your familiar?
Poe? And then all the shadows creep out of the corner and then up my back and kind of form a raven on my shoulder, made of shadow. He's was a raven, maybe. He has been a raven for a long time, that's for sure.
Interesting. Okay. That's cool. And he'll go attend to Calder. All of the rest of you will time jump a bit. You guys are all, anyone that needed medical attention gets medical attention. You guys are kept separate. That way you can't collude your stories together, but you're brought into the office one by one, starting with Miss Aspen. So you are brought into the headmaster's office. Miss Everhart, take a seat.
And Aspen will take a seat.
I'd like you to explain to me what happened from start to finish.
So Calder was sitting there minding his own business, and we were over on the other end of the table minding our own business. And a group of guys come over and just throw something into Calder's book. And so that's not cool. So I went over and told them that it's not cool, that you shouldn't do that. But they said it's not my business. But Calder is part of our pack, and growing up with animals or creatures, magical creatures, I know that pack animals have a pack mentality. So when you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. And that's not cool.
Right, back to the story.
Yeah, so I lashed out and showed them not to mess with my friends.
Define lashing out. Specifics. I would like factual sequence of events.
I punched the kid in the face. And then everything kind of went to a blur.
Did you use any magic?
No.
Okay, well, I sincerely hope, Miss Everhart, that you not think simply because you are from an alumni family of some notability that somehow makes you immune to the rules. I would hate to expel a member of the Wisteria Everhart family, but make no mistake, I absolutely will. Given your first year, and this is your first offense, albeit it is literally the second day, I will leave a majority of your punishment up to your head of house. Luckily, you didn't use any magic offensively, or this would be a very different conversation. But that said, do you understand do you know what a suspended punishment is?
No.
So suspended punishment is, for example, I give you detention for a month, but I suspend it. So you don't have that punishment unless you break the rules again. So you break the rules again, all the suspended punishments immediately go into effect. So I'm going to give you a month's detention, suspended. Weekend pass privileges revoked. For a month, suspended. The restricted ability to participate in clubs or sports for a month, suspended. Should you break any school rule, and I mean you show up a second late for class, all of those punishments automatically go into effect, in addition to whatever punishment that transgression warrants. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, you will report to your head of house. We'll do Kel's next. Miss Michaels, go ahead and take a seat.
Yes.
I would like a recap of exactly what happened. Try to be specific and keep it to facts.
Okay, so we were at dinner. So I was sitting with Brigham and Aspen and Gustav and Phineas, and Calder was like over there, but pretty close. And like, what's his name? Tobias, right? The guy who's Dan died. Kind of makes sense a little bit. But at any rate, he and his friends walked over to Calder and were like harassing him. And then he dumped like a whole slop of food in his book. Oh my gosh. So like, that's not cool. And then Aspen gets up, and I was all like, okay. Aspen looks kind of small. I mean, I'm not very big either. But I also got up then, followed Aspen a little bit behind, right? And then she was all like, that wasn't nice. And they're all like, mind your own business. And then Aspen, like, full on decked him in the face. So I guess we started fighting then because there was a group of them and a group of us. And one of them tried to punch me in the face, and then Phineas put a shield up, which is good because I don't think I was going to dodge it. And then they started choking out Gustav because he's really small, not really good at fighting, I guess. And Brigham like tackled the guy. Like they were just beating on Calder too. Like he was just taking it. So Brigham like tried to tackle one of them away, and then I tripped a guy, and then the teacher showed up. Oh, and Phineas like turned into crows or something and took Calder away. That also happened.
Okay. Well, we do not tolerate fighting at this school.
Oh.
Not in an uncontrolled environment. Okay, so for the most part, I'm allowing heads of houses to handle the punishments for those involved. Once I have all the full stories, we'll determine how many house points are lost by each house, given its participants. But thank you for your testimony. You may leave and report to your head of house.
Okay, thank you very much.
Brigham. Let's do you next. Go ahead and take a seat, Mr. Wright.
Like,
Can you give me a rundown of exactly what happened?
well, this was 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna try. We were just having, I'll say lunch. No, dinner. Okay, it was dinner. We were having dinner and we were just chilling, and we noticed that Calder, he's this real quiet kid, was over on another table, and we were gonna invite him over, but before we could, a big group of bullies, led by this dude with red hair, and they're definitely bullies because they kicked my crutch out from me earlier today. Went over to Calder and just started kind of messing with him, and then they put like food in his book, which that's not good. I've seen a lot of books get like wet in water and it doesn't work out well with them, and I don't imagine doing that is very good. So our group, we got up to help defend Calder, and I made sure to stay right near Calder to keep him safe. And Aspen, being real brave with this bully, because I mean, like he was like 2 feet taller than her, and he was just being real rude. And then Aspen punched him, and then there's this whole fight broke out, and I was just trying to make sure that Calder stayed safe. And then we got attacked by this other dude who was being really mean, and I got punched a lot. And Calder got punched a lot, and I think I tackled him, and I'm really not sure what happened after that.
So you partook in the fight?
Defensively, I didn't want to attack anybody. I was just trying to protect Calder.
Okay, well, I'm still gathering the facts of what happened. Luckily, there were several witnesses. But
The entire group, with the entire cafeteria was a witness.
yes.
So
I'm going to
surprisingly,
leave
not many teachers.
punishments up to your head of house. So we'll see. We'll know more exactly faults and everything once I interview everyone, but for now, just report to your head of house.
Okay.
And
Yes,
then we'll
Professor.
finish with Gustav. Because I'll just say Phineas basically said the same thing. Go ahead and take a seat.
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell me exactly what happened from start to finish.
I was at dinner, having dinner with my friends. I met them yesterday on the train, so I don't know them all very well. But we were talking, and we saw Calder sitting at another table, and we thought we'd go over and introduce ourselves to him because he's in some of our classes and he seemed nice. So we started walking over there when this boy dumped spaghetti all over Calder's book. And then there was a lot of fighting going on, and I got choked out. So I couldn't see who choked me.
Did you ever try to fight?
No.
Okay, well, I'll know more facts once I interview everyone, but thank you for your testimony. I'm going to have you report to your head of house. They're, for the most part, handling the punishments of those involved, allowing this to be solved at a lower level for now, since you're
Where do I
first
do
years.
that?
Yep, they'll be outside.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm going to have a nice conversation with all your heads of houses. Okay. So, once everything comes out and all the people are interviewed and everything, obviously all the bullies are going to give a different story. Witnesses, pretty unreliable. They give different stories. So it's kind of difficult to determine exactly who did what's at fault. There's people saying blood magic happened because people were bleeding, So,
I feel like the only consistent thing would be, and then Aspen punched somebody.
right. Luckily, no magic was used offensively, aside from the people saying, "Oh, there was some blood magic." And that's what the bully's story is they saw blood, so they assumed Calder had started casting blood magic and needed to act. Drug report to your heads of houses and are split up in your groups. So, the Draconors, you have Mr. Harding. So it's Aspen, Tobias, Marius, and Jet are the 4 people. So 3 bullies and Aspen. And he's basically going to have you maintaining brooms. Wax all the brooms, organize and pick up all the bristles, just grunt work. The Cephs, you're going to be cleaning out vials and cauldrons and all kinds of stuff with Professor Stillwell, which is just Kels and that big bully that tried to punch you in the face named Lum.
His name is Lump.
Lum, Lum.
Okay, that makes
Lum.
more sense. Like, who names a kid Lump?
Spideris, you'll be with your head of house is going to have you help the chef. So you'll be basically cleaning dishes, maybe helping prep some stuff. Ms. Moss doesn't really, she's trying to give you something not menial and horrible to do because she doesn't think you're at fault.
Oh, and I have so many recipes we could try.
Am I the only one from Calatog that was in the fight?
Yes. Calatog, you'll be with Ms. Moss. So you'll probably just be helping her pot some plants or do something, some random stuff. And Lupercil, you're with Professor Victus, so that's your head of house. That's just Mac, that big redheaded bully, and Gustav. So Gustav is with, I guess, your main tormentor.
Oof.
Yes. But as far as you'll be waking up early in the morning to report for that. For now, though, you're told to basically go back to your dorms and get ready for the next day because you have your day 2 classes. Did anyone do anything on their way? Anything crazy?
I mean,
No, that seems unwise.
I think Brigham would want to try to check up on Calder. I don't know if it'd be possible.
Probably not because you can't go into other people's common rooms or dorms.
I forget which house called.
He is in Cephalon with Kels and Izzy and them.
That's right.
Aspen, though, while you're on your way to your common room, this he's a first year too. He's really small. Comes up to you. He's like, hey, Aspen, real quick.
Hi.
Hey, I just want to say, I think it's really cool you stepped up to those guys, especially those older year guys, like Jet, Mac, and Lum. They're jerks, and I think it was cool that you stood up for them. I hope you didn't get into too much trouble.
No, I don't think it was too much trouble. I mean, I would have done it for anyone. So.
Cool. Go ahead and make a roll for me real quick, because I don't know if you saw this kid or not.
Which dice?
Do difficulty. Trying to think of what it would be. Brains, maybe? Sure, we'll do brains. And we'll do, since you were fighting, a difficulty 6.
Eight.
Cool. So you recognize this kid as the kid that came up with the tray and smacked Jet on the back of the head and then disappeared into the crowd again.
You did good too there.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't you hit?
Nope.
Okay.
Wasn't me.
Cool.
Anyway, I'll catch you later.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, I'm JJ, by the way.
Aspen.
I know. And he'll run off to his dorm. Okay, everybody good?
if we're cooking in the morning, I will take a plate of gingerbread children to Professor Levi and ask that he share them with Calder. Should make him feel better. Always made my granny and her sisters feel better.
Okay, so morning comes. Kels, make a roll for me. Well, actually, Phineas, make a roll for brains. We'll just do difficulty 10, see how you do.
Oof.
This is to see if Poe sees anything while he's creeping around at night. We'll do difficulty, let's do 7. We'll do 7.
Okay. I don't think he saw anything. Because does magic add? Because I'm not casting magic, so no. He doesn't see anything.
Cool. You don't use any adversity tokens or boons or anything?
We have boons, don't we? How many do we have? Yeah, I'll use a minor boon.
Okay. So that's a 7?
That will get it to 8.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So while Poe is flying around, he catches Professor Levi seemingly having a conversation with Professor Ames. So when they're talking about how they're kind of arguing a little bit about Calder, and Professor Levi is kind of venting some frustration about how he didn't think this position was going to be that hard. He just started. And it's clear that, Professor Ames, he's like, oh, do you regret asking me to write that letter of recommendation? He's like, no, but this job is clearly more than teaching. I'm glad I'm helping, but I'm just having some trouble, and seeing Calder is difficult. Professor Stillwell it's difficult he's been kind of avoiding Professor Stillwell, and it's just been very complicated. And Professor Ames is very much on the side of, I don't know if it's a good idea that Calder even attended the school, and that he should have been somewhere more controlled. But they have that argument of whether he needs to be a kid, try to be more normal, or if he's too dangerous, this, that, and the other. And they also mention, Miss Mesmer has had a couple visions that have been quite ominous and threatening as far as involving Calder. Kells, make a brains roll for me.
Okay. 16.
Nice. Okay. So you wake up from your dream. You can't really remember it. It's difficult to remember, but it was something, and you can remember things like, Professor Levi was in it, for sure. You grab your notebook really quick, and you start to sketch out, trying to keep it in your head as much as possible, trying to keep the sleep in your eyes while you're writing it down. And you write down this little passage of, when the sheep loses its herd, it seeks out a shepherd. But what happens when the shepherd is a wolf? Cool. But you don't have too much time to dwell on it, because you got to run to your punishment. You got to report to Professor Stillwell's. Phineas, you're reporting to go make stuff with the chef. And yeah, you guys all go to your different places. Yes, that's Professor Levi. Let's see. Aspen, your head of house is upset, mainly because most of the people were Dragonors, and you guys lost a ton of house points. So he's going to pull you guys aside and give a whole nice little speech. You say, we're Dragonors. We're people of action, not words. We're willing to get our hands dirty. That said, while we may not be Cephalon, we have to be smarter than what happened last night. We don't fight our own, and we pick our battles. Our battles are on the fields of friendly strife, or the battlefield, not the Grand Hall. And we fight honorably. And he looks at Aspen for the most part when he's doing it. It's like, I know there's a lot going on with this, but you will not fight each other again. And we will not throw the first punch, or I myself will recommend expulsion. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. We've lost a lot of house points that we need to make up, so I expect you to be working towards that. 2 of you lost 50 house points apiece. And he's looking at Aspen specifically. Or one of you lost 50 house points, and then between the others. So that's 100 house points we have to make up. And he's gonna basically make you guys do some hard labor as punishment because he's upset. Not too much goes on with the others, unless there's something you guys wanna do. Kells, you're with Lum, the guy who tried to punch you in the face. He does not seem very. He seems pretty slow, so it's nobody really understands why he's in Cephalon, but he is in your house.
And I assume we're cleaning out cauldrons and glassware and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
While doing that, I'll be like, no hard feelings, right?
His whole face is swollen.
Because yeah, luckily the only thing he did, he broke his hand when he was punching the shield, and then you swept his legs out from under him.
Yeah.
And he just shakes his head at you, and Professor Stillwell shushes you both. This is punishment. This is not chat hour. And he is just quietly like brewing his own potion while you guys sit over at a table and clean all these vials and dust and everything else.
Well, I guess I'll spend some time thinking about weird visions.
Cool. Gustav, you're with Mac.
Oh shit.
So you're head of house, the one handling your punishment. So, and you have Professor Victus. So he's the transfiguration teacher. He kind of has you guys separated because he's having Mac, since he's a older year than you. He knows how to safely untransfigure objects. So he's doing that, fixing some wonky transfigurations. But he just has you like cleaning off the chalkboard, even though it could be done magically, organizing some books and stuff, passing out some papers to set up for his next class, things like that. Nothing too crazy.
I am avoiding the side of the room where Mac is working as much as possible.
Cool. And he knows better than to strike right now. Gotta let it cool down a bit. Anybody else? Everybody good?
I kind of want to talk to my professor.
Sure. Yeah, Miss Moz is there with you. You guys are just in the green room.
Yeah.
Or greenhouse.
Doesn't seem fair that we're all getting punished the same as people who are being bullies to.
Well, I do believe some lost more house points than others. And there's some suspended punishments as well that are in effect. At least be glad that the headmaster left it up to heads of houses. If I truly believed you were doing something wrong, you'd be shoveling dragon dung or something.
I do appreciate that.
Yes.
Just that redhead dude. He'd already bullied me earlier in the day, and I don't know how to avoid him and his cronies.
This is... Who exactly?
Mac.
Oh, Mr. McKinney.
He
The
had knocked me
Lupersal boy.
down and called me names earlier in the day.
What kind of names?
He called me Gimpy Gills.
Well, if it happens again, do tell a teacher, a professor. Unfortunately, nothing on Lupercal, but not everyone in Lupercal is charismatic or friendly. Some of them just want to have friends. They want to have influence. They want to feel loved and admired. And sometimes that the way they go about it isn't the right way. They're peer pressure. They put other people down so that they feel like they're raised up. You shouldn't take it personally.
And I heard not called Gimpy Guilds.
It comes from a place of his own insecurity.
So mostly ignore it. Tell teacher next time it happens.
I know that's not really the advice you want to hear, but fighting is just going to land you in more trouble. It's a difficult problem to navigate, but stick with your friends, rely on your friends.
Okay, can do.
Cool. Yep. All right. You guys are finish up and you're going to go to your first class of the day or breakfast. You can go to breakfast.
I feel like after potting plants, I'd like to shower first and then breakfast.
Yeah. Aspen, you probably want to shower too because he was making you guys sweat for sure. Okay. So we can just go to your first class of the day if you guys would like. So your first class of the day is potions with Professor Stillwell. So
As we enter, I'm just like, hey, look at those glasses. I clean those by hand. There were a lot of them. I hope we don't make a mess.
They look so shiny. Well done.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Would you like a gingerbread child?
No. That sounds like an afternoon kind of food.
No, it's breakfast as well.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
In this class, Izzy is already sitting down. She's chatting up a table that has Marius, a girl named Delilah. And these are tables of 4. So you guys will have to figure out how you want to sit in your groups of 4.
Is Izzy's table already full?
Yes.
Okay.
It's her, Marius, this kid named Darby, and a girl named Delilah. And then Calder walks in as well with Professor Levi. And there's another kid, Rudy, who's sitting at a table by himself.
I will go join Calder. Smile and nod at Professor Levi.
Cool. It'll be a table of you, Rudy, Calders. There's one more spot at your table. And then there's Ophelia is waving Gustav over to her table.
Of course.
I am on my way.
I'm going to go with Gustav.
Yes.
I will motion.
Popular.
I'll motion to Aspen.
Yeah, Aspen
As
will
the
go
heavy
sit.
as the heavy hitter, just in case stuff pops off.
Brigham,
Cool.
would you like to sit with us?
Yes, please.
Cool. So Gustav, Ophelia, Kels, and Brigham are at a table. Calder, Rudy, Aspen, and Phineas are at a table. And Professor Levi, Kels, give me a really quick brain roll. Difficulty, we'll do like 11.
Yeah, nah.
Ooh.
Okay. You guys just make eye contact for a sec. He gives you like a look, but you don't really understand what it is, and then he leaves. Unless, what is, don't you have an ability? Zero?
Do I? Oh, zero.
No, Zero, I think, has something.
Do I have abilities? I don't know.
Oh, I failed to roll.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's spend 1 adversity token to ask questions about surroundings or NPC. And I must answer honestly, but
Oh, intuitive. Is there any reason that I would have an intuition that this is something that should be noticed? Like, is it direct? Is he being odd in
A
any
little
way?
bit.
In any way that is focused towards like our table, or like looking at anyone in particular very strangely?
looking at Kels in particular.
Then yes, I think I would like to be intuitive.
Okay. He gives Kels a look and kind of like makes eye contact for a second, is trying to read her for a second, trying to see if she knows something, basically. And it doesn't seem like she does,
Oh,
but he seems a little paranoid about it and leaves.
interesting. File it away.
Cool. Mr. Stillwell, Professor Stillwell. No food in my classroom. Can affect the potions. Please put that away. Today you'll be learning potions. We will do a very basic, very easy potion. That said, it can still be quite easily messed up if you do not follow my instructions exactly. So he is going to demonstrate first for you how to make the potion, going step by step. And then you guys are going to break out into groups and make a potion. Kels, while he's giving the tutorial, essentially, give me a quick grit roll.
Great.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay, so while he's giving this tutorial, you're taking notes studiously, then your notes start turning into drawings. And you are just completely scribbling in your notebook these things. Okay, he doesn't notice. He's too busy doing the potions. After you look at it in your little notebook and you see you've drawn a sheep, and then there's a bunch of other sheep like in a pen, but the little lamb is by itself.
I'm really on theme today.
Yep. So you all go back to your tables, and you're gonna give me a brains roll. So we'll do difficulty 10.
Oof.
I have a question.
You can, yes.
When we cast magic, having cast a spell previously allows us to cast this again with bonuses, right? It lowers the difficulty when we cast it a second time.
It can lower the difficulty depending how many times. Like if you're super familiar with the spell, it won't be as difficult. Yes.
It does that. Is that the same with potions?
Yeah. Like if you made a potion every day, it's gonna become super easy.
So what is this potion?
Oh, you guys are making a very minor healing potion.
In that case, I would like to use a help action for Kells.
No, I don't need your help. I can do this very easily.
Very high in brains.
Even with, I was like, hey, Goosecoff, can I see your notes real quick? Thanks. Okay, I got it. And then we will just make the potion. I'll just go through the steps and tell everyone what to do and be
as long as one person at your table gets a 10, you're good.
Yeah.
But this is using magic, right? So do we roll the magic die?
Yes, you can roll your magic die.
Good.
Brigham doesn't have many brains.
Ooh,
Goodness.
I got a 4.
10.
I got a 7.
Well, luckily you're at Phineas's table and he got a 10. And Kel's got a 10.
Wait, I'm with Gustav's table.
I got a
Oh,
5.
yeah, Kel's has got a 10.
Oh,
You're at-
I'm here. I can take half for 10.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, 12 because I have +2 in magic brains.
And Professor Stillwell's walking around and he's looking and making sure all of your potions are going well. And he comes over to your tables. Looks good. And he goes over to your table, Phineas, and your potion looks perfect, except suddenly it starts to bubble. And then it keeps bubbling, and Professor Stillwell sees this reaction happening, takes out his wand, and basically throws the cauldron before it blows up into a bunch of bubbles. It would have been non-fatal, but it wouldn't have been fun to be covered in hot liquid. What did you do to your potion?
I followed the instructions. It seemed to be working perfectly. And I'll even, just recount exactly. I'm not a master at potions, but I don't know anything that I would have added that could have caused a strange reaction.
Did you properly clean out your cauldron before class?
No, that was done by, and then I'll look over at I've forgotten the name, the other person who was cleaning cauldrons.
He's not in your class. He's older year.
Yeah, so, no, but I suspect that so-and-so did. That would explain things.
You are responsible for your own cauldron.
I will remember that and clean it again.
You will do well too. And you are, let's see here, -5 points from each of your houses. Mm-hmm. And you'll go and look over at the other ones. And you can see at the other table, like with Marius and Delilah and Darby and them, they're snickering.
I will smile at them very widely. Dead eyes.
Izzy sees it and is like, oh, what the?
And then just maintain eye contact. Maybe listen to my wand and yes.
Cool. Well, you guys get out of that class. And you go into Transfiguration. So while you're going off to that class, Marius, one of the kids, kind of like body checks as he's passing through Aspen. Says you should probably make sure you guys clean your cauldrons next time. You don't want those bubble pox reactions happening in the future. And walks off with his group. So you guys have next Transfiguration. Yep. You have that kid Rudy is in your class again. And when that happened, he was like, it's probably me. I'm bad luck.
No.
Thinking the potion thing's his fault. But you have Transfiguration with Professor Victus. Rudy's in your class. Joel's in your class. This kid named Mojo's in your class. Tobias is in your class. You've got a few people that you know of or have seen around in your class. These are tables of 2. Not too much happens in Transfiguration, but Kels, give me another grit roll.
5.
Okay. So the only thing that happens in that class is you do start to doodle a little bit in your notes again. But this time it looks like a shepherd that's reaching out to the sheep, except it has the head of a wolf. Cool. But what are you doing with these? Do you just leave these drawings in your notebook?
Maybe it's in the middle of class, but afterwards I'm probably tearing them out and putting them in a more specific book for holding any prophecy related things, so it's easier to cross-reference and what have you. Of course, I have to copy over the actual notes, but
yeah, after class you look for your prophecy book and you can't find it.
Beans. Where would I put it? Did I have it earlier in the morning?
When's the last time you used it? You definitely used it in the morning.
Yeah.
When you woke up.
Yeah. Then, I don't know, I probably just threw it on my bag.
Maybe. Cool. So your next class is you guys have lunch. So you don't have to go to lunch immediately. You have that full, 2-hour period essentially to go to lunch at some point. So if you want, you can go and check to see if your notebook's over there.
Yeah, I would. I'm going to go look for it.
Cool. On your way over there, Izzy stops you and is like, "Hey, we haven't dished lately. Like, what's been going on? What happened with their potion and everything and the fight and all that other stuff?"
Okay, let's walk and talk, because my prophecies book's missing. Izzy, my prophecy book's missing. The one with all the stuff and the picture. You know, the one.
Where'd you last have it?
I don't know, my room or something? Any rate, and then I'll tell her about the fight and the trouble we got into and the punishment that I have and everything else of note. I think Hatter needs to be dragged back into the room. So I'll basically all that, and I will start telling her about the stuff the dream I had in the morning and the other stuff I've drawn during class. Like, be like, look, I was going to put this in, but I can't find the prophecy book.
What do you think it means?
Man, I don't know, but when they get this frequent and this specific in a row, it's probably not good.
That's like, usually lambs are like what, sacrifices and stuff?
Yeah.
Probably
yeah, they kind of are.
sacrifice.
Sacrificial lamb, and like the shepherd is supposed to watch over the flock, but this one's a wolf and they eat sheep. Like, I think you're right about there being cult people or something around here in the administration. At this point, I'm sure Kels is in the room, like, flipping over clothes and looking under the pillow 5 times and looking under the bed and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Izzy helps, but you do not find it. It is not in this room.
Is there like a lost and found or something? Or do you think someone took it?
I don't know. You guys made a lot of enemies.
Yeah, in retrospect, that probably wasn't a great idea. But also, he did dump a bunch of food on a book, which I feel like is personally offensive.
Yeah. Super cool of Aspen, though. That was...
Yeah, she sure packs a punch.
That had to be embarrassing for the guys she beat up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. Well, keep an eye out for it, I guess. Or if anyone starts talking about weird stuff they saw. But I have to make a new book, I guess. You know, there was test answers in that one. It never works out, but they were there, so maybe we'll know.
I'll be on the lookout. I'll see what I can find.
Thanks.
Are you going to lunch?
Yeah.
Cool. Are any of you guys sitting together for lunch or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Lunch crew.
Phineas, do you give them any information or anything, or you just keeping it filed away?
No, I think I'll eat relatively quickly before going to see Miss Greco because I was told to. And I'm curious what that's all about. But I will say to Kells, you know, I got the strangest feeling.
That's not too surprising, but go on.
Well, it was just that when Professor Levi dropped Calder off for potions, he seemed to be looking at you in the oddest way, as if he was concerned or nervous. But then when you didn't look up or react, he seemed relieved. Don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Wonder if he got my book. I'm missing my book, by the way. The one, like the binder full of all the papers and stuff like that. Of all the prophecies that I do. So if you guys see it, that'd be great if you could give it back to me.
That's a very big book. It's a full binder. I'm sure if we see it, we'll recognize it.
Yeah. I mean, I drew the pictures on the cover and everything.
Ooh, what's with the pictures?
You know, like hearts and stars and stuff.
I like hearts and stars.
Yeah, I know. Like little rainbows.
And Doom, right? Heart, stars, rainbows, and Doom.
I mean, the Doom's on the inside.
Ah, I see. Subterfuge.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask around.
Cool, thanks.
But now I have to go see my house counselor. Did you know that we have counselors for every house?
Oh, we do?
Yes.
That's nice.
Apparently.
Kels, you've talked to Mr. Samer before.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh, so are they there to help us find like our path, or are they there to solve problems, or?
I don't know if they solve problems. They just talk about like feelings and adult stuff or whatever. To help you out.
All right. That seems strange, but willing to give it a
It's
try.
pretty standard. It's pretty good for a school this size to have like one per house, you know? Like public schools have like one for everybody.
Yeah, you know, in my family, we don't talk about feelings very much. I mean, not our own feelings, anyway.
Right.
There's so much jostling for power and so many plots to kill off other members of the sisterhood to ascend through the ranks, and it's very difficult to have family dinner when everyone's, you know. So we kind of try to keep that below the surface.
Yeah, you should probably go talk to the counselor.
All right. Let me know if you want more gingerbread children.
I'm good, thanks.
Cool. So anybody else doing anything during their lunch period?
After I've had my lunch, I'm going to do a tour of all the classrooms we've been in, looking for a binder with hearts and stars on it.
Cool. You don't find it.
I am sad on the inside, and I don't tell Kels that I'm pathetic and can't do anything right.
Spin's gonna go to the big tree and sit in it.
Yep. Cool.
I see you in the tree. I'm just going to be like, thanks for looking, Aspen. So I walk by.
So Phineas, you're going to go see the counselor. For the most part, she's going to have you just kind of spill, like, how are you adjusting? How are you feeling?
Hey, sorry, real quick.
Oh, yep.
The weird noise I heard was apparently my tree in the front yard falling on the neighbor's house. So
Oh.
I need to go call insurance and take care of some things.
Yes.
All right.
So I apologize. I need to bow out.
You're good.
Yeah, no
All right.
problem.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
All right. So, Miss Greco, so are you just going to knock on her door?
Mm-hmm.
And oh, come in. Phineas,
Yes.
right? Great. Go ahead, have a seat. Have some candy if you want a little bit of candy. Just has a little jar on her desk.
Oh, no, thank you. Sniff it.
So why have you come to see me today, Phineas?
Oh, I was advised to.
Oh, well, I do think it's a good idea.
Yes, I was having a lovely conversation with Professor Levi, and he suggested I come see you.
Yes. Well, I am somewhat aware of your situation. I understand this is quite the adjustment for you.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me how it's been so far? What's different or troubling or stressful?
Well, the fact that wickedness isn't punished is perplexing.
How do you mean?
Well, there are quite a few children here who think that because they're larger or older or accident of birth that they have not only power over others, but that they can use that power to cause suffering, probably to make themselves feel better. That's the sort of thing that wouldn't have flown in my family. And the fact that a blind eye is turned is perplexing.
I wouldn't say blind eye. I understand punishments did go out.
Yes.
What punishment were you expecting?
Well, something more lasting.
Such as?
Oh, 100 years as a toad.
You don't think that's extreme for children?
No. Besides, afterwards, they wouldn't be children, would they? It's a good way of nipping that sort of thing in the bud.
Yes, but then do they truly learn?
Oh, there's lots of things you can learn as a toad.
Yes, but they don't grow to be better people.
Well,
in
they
fact,
might.
You could argue they may even become vengeful.
Well, then you keep them a toad, don't you? I don't know.
I do think there's a balance for punishments. It has to match the crime.
Yes, well, I just think it would be beneficial for the powers that be to make it clear that that sort of behavior isn't tolerated. But that's just me. I find it perplexing that the weak pick on their betters. And because their betters are showing restraint, you know, that somehow that equates the two.
You believe you're the better. You see yourself superior to those?
Well, I don't. In a strange way, yes. Because I don't put myself above others. I recognize that I have some power. And I don't use it to cause suffering. And that does make me morally better.
But isn't that putting yourself above others?
I think it's a dispassionate moral judgment. I think if anyone looks at people of, let's say, equal power, and one person is using their power, whether it be magical, physical, or social, to cause suffering and distress, and another is using it to try to alleviate suffering and distress, isn't the latter a better person?
Right. This is interesting given the environment you came from. Because arguably, you could say your home life, you came from a place that hurt innocent people.
I don't know if that's true. It might be.
So would you agree that your grandmother, as I believe you call her, deserves to be in prison or something worse?
I don't think she minds, honestly. I think that if she didn't want to be there, she wouldn't be.
Well, I do want you to keep in mind that you are all children.
Sure.
You're also all human.
Sure.
People make mistakes.
That's true.
And we don't always deserve to have the hammer dropped on us for those mistakes.
It's true.
You should afford people the opportunity to learn and grow from those mistakes.
That's a good point. I should be more confident that people will absorb their lessons and become better people.
And try to be understanding it. Sometimes it helps to understand where the other person is coming from.
So,
I believe a lot of conflict is caused by people misunderstanding each other.
So if I'm a large, brawny redhead,
Mm-hmm.
and I use my physical size to pick on those less able, how do I understand that? Other than just sheer wickedness.
Well, hypothetically, speaking as if I don't know who you're talking about, it is very likely that they pick on the weaker because they are insecure about themselves. They feel the need to do so to appear stronger.
So like maintaining a mask. They know it's a falsehood, so they try to convince others to convince themselves.
In many schools, you'll see what's called peer pressure. You feel the need to prove yourself to others and your friends to fit in. And I believe quite a bit of that is going on here.
Yes.
It's natural, but it does take time. Many struggle with it even into adulthood, but especially in your school years, it's a difficult thing to not be influenced by. As a kid, everything kind of seems like the end of the world.
Well, sometimes it is. But I think I know what you're saying. Perhaps children who are struggling with their masks just need some help to come to grips with their true selves.
Yeah, that's a good thing to take away. She might talk to you a little bit more, just specifics about how you're adjusting and everything, but...
And to be clear, Phineas is like, oh, so you're weak and frightened, and you're trying to project something that isn't weak and frightened to the world, and if you were maybe prevented from projecting that falsehood and everyone could see how weak and frightened you were, that would help you come to grips with your true self.
I'm sure it'll go great.
Phineas is very compassionate.
Oh, yeah. I think we did everybody's lunch. So your next class is Dark Magic Defense with Professor Ames. He's this older gentleman, beard, long hair, looks very worn. He's seen some stuff. In this class, you have Tobias, you have Jace or JJ, that Rudy kid, and a couple others that you may or may not know. So Dark Magic Defense, for the most part, you're not going to be sitting a whole lot. But I assume you guys kind of group and clump together. And, Professor Levi drops off Calder. Calder tries to stay on the room as far away from Tobias as possible, who, of course, is naturally glaring at him, as always.
I am definitely on the other side of the group from Phineas. If we're going to be defending ourselves against other people's dark magic.
That's probably not how it works, but maybe.
Professor Ames will get up at the front and he'll explain, this is Dark Magic Defense. We do not propose you use dark magic, but sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. The only way to defend yourself with dark magic is to use dark magic. However, there are spells that are absolutely and completely illegal, regardless of what capacity you use them in. Spells used to kill, spells used to torture, spells used to control people's minds. Those spells are completely forbidden. Blood magic of any kind, and he kind of gives a pointed look towards Calder, is illegal, immoral, unethical, and will not be used. And he'll start to go through the lesson. He's going to teach you a very simple spell of essentially more so working on your stance, less so than the actual spell itself. But he's going to have Tobias come up and demonstrate. He's going to use him as a demonstrator in the class, and essentially how you want to hold yourself to be able to dodge incoming spells and then be able to cast them. After class, you guys go out into the hallway and you see Kels's vision, that one with an older Calder. Those sheets are everywhere in the hallway. They're pasted on the walls. They're all over the floor. They're all over the place. And, Calder goes outside. Like, as soon as you open the door, some plan too. It's insane. And Calder looks at it and sees, like, it pretty much clearly him. And, he runs off. Tobias is, he seems to know that this was happening because he was watching Calder, waiting for his reaction. Professor Ames sees the paper, shakes his head. Professor Levi comes in, sees the papers, sees no Calder. He's like, "Where's Calder?"
You ran down the hallway, man.
And he'll take off down the hallway.
Yo, Tobias, did you make those?
I don't think Tobias is a very good drawer.
I don't draw these things. Why did you make
Not the drawing, idiot. The papers.
I was in class with you guys.
No, he just knew that they were going to be there.
You know where the source came from, Tobias?
Isn't it you?
Now, who actually knew that I had drawn that in the book?
I mean, some people have seen you with the book.
Right. Yeah, obviously, because it
Right.
has my name on it. Because I would. But I don't know if they know the contents of it, right?
Not until they went through it.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'll say, you stole my book?
I was in class with you this whole time.
It was gone before. You weren't in every class with me. We had a whole lunch period and breakfast and stuff. I'm gonna leave because I'm very annoyed at this. I think I'm gonna try to find who had I had punishment with. What's his name?
Lum.
Mom. Yeah, he's in my house, so he could have access to my room and stuff.
Possibly. You guys do
So-
have your next class, though.
Oh yeah, shoot! And then I turn around and walk over to class. She's angry, but not angry enough to be late to class.
And you guys have Magizoology next.
I'm going to try and collect up some of the papers before. Well, while we're walking, I'm trying to destroy some of the posters.
Cool. So Magizoology is outside. You guys have Mr. Mang. He looks like a little bit of crazy eyes. He's missing some like fingers and stuff, and fake leg, all kinds of stuff. Like he's been dealing with magical creatures for a long time. He's excited to have Aspen in his class. It's like, oh, we have an Everheart in this class. Excellent. Today, I'll be introducing you all to something even your non-magical counterparts will recognize, and that's a Pegasus. Do not get too close. They do kick. And Mateo and Izzy are in this class, and there's this kid Izzy is talking to, and his name is Mateo, and they're kind of not interested in the magical creatures. They're standing back. They don't want to get anywhere near that. But they're just kind of gossiping to themselves in the corner.
Do people ride Pegasus?
Yes, you can ride a Pegasus, if it trusts you enough.
Is your follow-up question, can I ride the Pegasus?
Yes.
No.
Thank you, Misha, for getting me in trouble already.
You're not in trouble.
You're not in trouble for asking.
Can Aspen walk closer?
Yeah.
Slowly.
And he goes over, how you take care of Pegasus, some minor little facts about them, this, that, and the other. About how you would need to build up a relationship and trust with a Pegasus for it to allow you to ride it. Diet, all that good stuff. Cool. Kels, are you taking notes?
No, of course I am.
Cool. Give me a grit roll real quick.
Yeah. 4.
Okay, so in your notes, you start to go off again. Except this time, there's a dead sheepdog. It might be dead, it might be asleep, it's hard to tell. But it looks hurt.
Oh, this is progressing poorly. Hey, Gustav, do you have the rest of the notes? I kind of trailed off there for a second.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Aspen, give me a quick brains roll, but do it with advantage since you know a lot about magical creatures. So we'll say difficulty 8.
So what's advantage? That's just +1, right?
No, you roll twice and take whichever one's higher.
Okay. It's the same. It's 8.
Okay, cool. Well, you made it anyway. So he asks you a question about Pegasus. You answer it correctly, and he gives you like +10 house points. So you're slowly making a dent in your deficit there. Cool. So it is after class. Those of you that are in clubs can go to your clubs. For example, Flying Club is meeting after class today.
Yes.
Cool. So you guys show up to Flying Club. Elder's not there. But one of the older not first years, one of the older students gonna walk you through flying. He's also the Draconor prefect, but he's captain of the Flying Club, and he's also the captain of the frag bag team for Draconor as well. So he's all over the place, but he's very good flyer. And he'll explain, hey, if you have previous flying experience, there is a test you can take that will allow you as a first year to fly outside of supervision. It's a pretty difficult test, though. So my plan for Flying Club is to walk you guys step by step through the pieces of the test. That way, eventually, you guys can go ahead and knock that out and be able to fly. And I don't have to be here every time.
I'd love to try to take that test.
Cool. Let me see where you guys are at. What do you guys have any experience flying?
Yes.
Like a little.
Yes, a little. Okay. Do you guys know how to summon your brooms?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Those of you that don't know the basics, I'm going to put you over there with this guy. I'll take the more advanced flyers. He breaks up the groups little by little. That way you guys can learn how to like your broom on the ground and summon it just so you're there. Things like steadying it while you're just like sitting in position. You barely have your feet off the ground. That's what you'll learn over there. The more advanced flyers, though, he'll want to see where you guys are at. So if everybody can give me a light roll.
What is the difficulty?
Depends what you're trying to do.
I think just summon the broom, hop on it, and float.
Okay, we have difficulty 4.
Oh, yeah. I'll take half.
For those that haven't done anything before, we'll say like difficulty 6.
I'll take half.
I'll take half for that 4.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, cool. So you guys are all pretty successful in doing the basics. Phineas, you're just, it's like, oh, okay, cool. So you've got some experience. And as you do Flying Club, Tobias and them are also in Flying Club. So they kind of keep to themselves, though. Afterwards, you've got a little bit of time before dinner still. Phineas, if you want to do Cooking Club, you can. What other clubs did you guys join?
I joined.
Typically, Cooking Club, you guys can meet before pretty much every meal. Or like during lunch, before breakfast, before dinner.
I joined Capers and Dueling in addition to Flying Club.
I'm in dueling as well.
Oh, yes, I think we all took dueling, didn't we? Or many of us did.
I think everybody except Brigham. I think Brigham only did underwater hockey and meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
Did the plant, or no, the animal one that my
Creature Club?
sister was in. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can split your times between clubs, and they do switch off days as well. So, cool. So we'll do dueling club. So dueling club, Tobias is also in this club along with Marius, and some others.
Is Rudy in the club?
No, Rudy, you haven't seen in any of these clubs. For a very good reason. He's basically afraid to. Oh, that's Brigham.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck? What was I saying? Sorry, I was looking at our cast, which looks different to stream. Oh yeah, Rudy. He has bad luck, so he tries to cast magic as little as possible. For dueling club, you'll see some people already sparring in the dueling room, and you guys can watch them, see what they're kind of doing. The rest of you, though, since you're so new, there's not a whole lot you can do. And the teacher, Miss Hart, is sponsor for the dueling club, but has to be along with Professor Ames. They'll watch sides, but they need to supervise the people that are actually casting spells. There's not too much you guys can do in dueling yet.
We'll watch and take notes.
Yeah. Let me see if I have. Why don't you guys go ahead and go to dinner?
Is Calder there?
He is not.
Kels, are you feeling all right? With all those posters that were put up, you looked pretty angry.
Well, it's like my stuff. He took my stuff, and I don't think it was a good idea for everyone to know about this thing. Now everyone does. Whatever, but I should report this to a teacher.
Yes.
Which teacher do I think I should report the theft of my book to?
Oh, the librarian.
No, I don't think that's the right one. Good stuff.
You are welcome to report it to. I mean, you have the NPCs, right?
Yeah, let me.
I hope Kelda doesn't find out that you drew him that badly.
We'll have Professor Stillwell is on duty right now, and a couple teachers that you don't have that you don't recognize are on duty watching the lunchroom right now, the grand hall.
Right. I mean, I think I would since I would recognize him, and also the punishment time is under his watch. I guess I'll go talk to him and mention that it was stolen. That I noticed earlier today, it was stolen, kind of thing.
At what was stolen?
My book. It's like a personal book of like the prophecies that I write and stuff like that. It was stolen.
Do you have a theory as to who stole it?
I think that Tobias knows about it, given his reaction earlier today. But
Are you absolutely positive it was stolen and not lost?
I usually keep pretty good track of it. I was actually surprised that I didn't have it in my first class because I had some other prophecies that I was kind of drawing out today. I was going to put it in the book, and then it didn't show up in the book. So rather, I didn't have the book. Yeah, I can't
During
control when it happens.
my class.
Yeah, it's like a thing. But I was gonna like file it away after, so I didn't have it then. I did have it the night before, so it was probably in my room.
So the papers that were scattered across the hallways earlier today, are those from your book?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you give me a short description of what the book looks like?
Yeah, it's like a binder situation. And I do some hearts and stars on it, and it has my name on it. And inside is a bunch of like different papers.
Okay. Your prophecies, are there any other compromising prophecies of people at the school?
I think that's the main one. I didn't think anything else struck me as familiar to this school. I've been having a lot of weird ones today, though it's not about specific people.
We talked to Miss Mesmer.
Yeah, she said I shouldn't solve problems and adults should.
Not bad advice. I will report this up and have people on the lookout for your book.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that's dinner. Izzy comes up to you after you talk to. She's like, "Oh, what were you talking to him about?"
So the book was stolen, right? Because someone got the thing and made copies of it?
Yeah, I saw that everywhere.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little annoyed, but I guess it's out there, so whatever.
How did that kid take it?
He ran out of the room. We haven't seen him all day. He wasn't in any of our other classes, and he wasn't at flying club that we made him join.
You think he's gonna be mad and like do something?
I don't think so. Like, so when he ran out of the room, was he just sort of like shocked or something, or did he just? We didn't really see what he was.
He looked at the paper and then looked at everybody staring at him and took off.
Okay. Like, I don't know if he'd do anything. Like, I think he knows that everyone saw this and is going to be judging him for it. Like I thought they would. Which is why I was going to stay in my book and be a secret until we figured out what it meant. I guess I shouldn't label it my like secret book of prophecies or something. It was funny at the time. Next binder I'm going to label like potions notes. Then no one's going to steal it. Oh, speaking of, I'm going to flip open and show her the wolf shepherd situation going on in my current set. I think telling Izzy everything is a great idea.
Yeah. Well, if you ask her enough questions, she's a really good resource for knowing stuff going on about the school, about teachers, who they are, their history, and all that stuff. She's got all the goss. So
yeah, hot goss.
Hot goss. It's like, is that a dog? Is it dead?
Yeah. It could be sleeping. That'd be nicer, but it's probably dead. So if we're following the timeline of it, it's like there's a lamb out here and the flock and the wolf is the shepherd and now the wolf is dead? I don't know, man. This one's kind of weird.
The dog looks very different to the wolf.
Oh, okay, so
like
it's a
sheepdog.
Sheepdog,
it looks
okay.
like a sheepdog, yeah.
So who's ever guarding the flock nicely is dead, and the actual shepherd is bad. And the lamb is out. This is probably going to be one of those that's going to make a lot more sense in retrospect. And it'll be a real shame that we didn't catch on sooner.
Yeah, how does this... So, do you know, like, when it's gonna happen?
No, never do. Probably soon, because there's been like 3 today, and that's a little weird.
Have you ever tried, like, trying to look at stuff? Like, trying to have a vision actively, or does it only just happen?
Well, it's always just happened before. I don't think I've really bothered trying. It's more annoying. I think like the one time I did try, like if I try, then I just like get bored. So
Too bad we don't
nothing
have
happens.
we haven't learned certain potions yet.
What do you mean certain potions?
Oh, there's some that like give you like it makes you able to remember stuff perfectly. Like if you had like a weird vision or like a dream or something, like it's a potion of clarity. You can look back and actually remember it.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure there's other potions too. What about Miss Mesmer?
It wasn't much help last time.
Well, I'm not saying we get help from her, but maybe she has some stuff.
She has a lot of stuff. She had like these cool orbs that she like put visions into so other people could see them and stuff. She said it
So
was
that
like
other people
advanced.
can see them, huh?
Yeah, but like better and not a drawing. But those are hers. I don't know how you get them.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, we'd probably have to like break into her class or something and sneak in and grab it, but
yeah, that sounds like a bad idea. So can we make potions and stuff outside of class, or is that also against the rules?
I don't think you're supposed to. Or at least, I mean, there's a potions club.
Cool.
That's it. I don't know how to make that potion.
Well, all that takes is a trip to the library or something, right? We can figure it out. We're smart.
Maybe. But we'd still
Yeah,
need all
it's
the
fine.
ingredients too, so we would have to probably raid Professor Stillwell's stock.
I mean, if we just joined the potions club, maybe we have access to all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go sign up. And then go to the library and look at it. Excellent after dinner plans.
Okay. Does anybody else do anything?
I'll try to find Professor Levi to check in on Calder and also share the backstory about the prophecy.
To Professor Levi?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a brains roll, maybe? I don't even know what roll you would use for this. Because you're
What
just
it,
searching for him in the hallways.
oh, or asking
Looking around.
around. Yeah, I assume that he's got an office or something, right?
He does, but he's not in it.
Oh, okay. So, sure. It's better than charm. Yeah, 5.
We'll say it takes some time, but you get a lead. Someone says they think they saw Professor Levi um, running around the different common rooms checking for him in there. So if we'll just say you eventually find him, and he's searching like the bathrooms. He's searching everything. He does not have Calder with him, but he looks like he's actively still looking.
Hmm. Hello, Professor Levi. I was hoping to check with you about Calder's well-being, but clearly you don't know.
I have not found him yet.
Well, he was very upset. Someone stole Kel's writings and plastered them all over the school. Clearly in an attempt to cause Calder further discomfort. Seems to have worked.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he would have gone. I feel I've checked everywhere and I cannot find him.
I would like to spend an adversity token.
Okay.
If you think this would work. So based on my understanding of Calder and the pressures that he's under, I would like to ask where he would be.
Where he would choose to go is he probably would have. I mean, he probably would have just locked himself in his room.
But that's been checked.
Yeah.
Professor, have you considered that this might not be voluntary?
What do you mean?
My instinct tells me that he would have just locked himself in his room if he were choosing where to go. So perhaps he's not choosing.
That was my thought as well. And you see him thinking, I need to go talk to somebody really quick. If you don't mind, please keep looking for him. And he's going to go off towards the potions classroom.
I will go back and find my friends.
Cool. So
we think Calder may have been taken.
So whoever stole the binder put those pictures up to upset Calder and make him run to where he could be taken from.
Possibly.
So
or someone else might have taken advantage of the circumstances.
But the binder was in Kel's room, and Kel's is in a house. She's in Drakenor, isn't she?
No. Cephalon.
This is my second day. So, whoever kidnapped her must be in Cephalon then?
Not necessarily. It's likely that a particular bully in Cephalon is responsible for taking the book, but we don't know for sure if their goal is to torment him publicly. This seems a bit subtle. So it might be that someone else took advantage or spoke and, influenced them to cause a disruption that would drive Cal off so that no one would notice he was gone and would assume that he was hiding away out of shame to delay the alarm that he had been taken. If that's the plan, it seems a bit more subtle than what these bullies might come up with on their own.
If he has been taken, then he's probably in some place that's not accessible to the public. And this is a school. The main building will have classrooms and stuff. How big are the grounds, narrator? You're muted, I think.
I mean, pretty big. They're just, the whole school grounds is pretty large because it includes like the surrounding forest, the like actual forbidden forest, the like capers field, the frag bag field, the just training grounds where you have your flying classes and everything, over where all the magical creatures are kept. It's a lot.
Perhaps
Is the
they would.
Pegasus still out?
Out in the sense of like it's with the, it's probably in the stables now.
If they were to
It's
take
been
him
a few
somewhere, they
hours.
would probably take him somewhere where students aren't allowed to go.
The Forbidden Forest, you mean?
Quite possibly.
Where all the animals are.
And
Perhaps.
if they mean to do him harm, it would be plausible to say, he was embarrassed and ran off into the Forbidden Forest, and no one's to blame for what happened to him. He should have known better.
Perhaps Aspen can guide us. She's really good at magizoology.
It's true.
Perhaps we ought to have this conversation where Kels can hear.
Yep.
All right, everyone, we think Calder has been kidnapped, possibly taken to the Forbidden Forest.
Would you like to rescue him?
I think we probably should, but,
It sounds like a bad idea.
well, it sounds like a chance for people to get into some serious trouble.
Are you still with Izzy?
I'm not saying boo when Izzy is within earshot.
Okay.
Like nothing.
You are probably not. Because I think what probably happened is I ran off and I was all like, where's the potion club? Let's sign up. And then I ran off to the library and I was all like, looking for books about that potion Izzy mentioned to see how possible it is to make. And then
Yeah,
I
you'll
guess
do some. If you want to roll for it to see what books you find on different potions that might be helpful, you can.
okay. Like a brains roll maybe.
Yeah, brains roll. We'll go based on how high or low it is. I'll say which potion you think.
13.
Okay, so there's that potion of clarity that she mentioned where it just helps you remember things better. But there is a specific potion that often puts someone that's more of an oracle kind of into that state of mind as well.
Okay.
So you can choose like the potion of the seer or a clarity potion. Probably the best.
All right. Which one's ingredient list and like which one's easier to make?
Both of them you would have to raid Professor Stillwell's closet for.
Okay. Well, let's try the potion of the seer.
Or it's possible that Miss Mesmer has some. Maybe. You don't know for sure.
Okay.
But she could have some stores as well.
Yeah,
She could have the actual potion for all you know. You don't know.
that's true. All right. Well, I'll just write down stuff about the potion of the seer. To be honest, I would probably copy both of them, but it'd be the potion of the seer that I'm more interested in, I think. And then I run back to Phineas, you know, like, we gotta go to the Forbidden Forest. And I'm all like, hold that thought. What if instead we made this cool potion so I can learn more about these visions? But we need to get the ingredients.
If
From,
you
like,
use the
teacher.
potion, are you sure you'd be able to find him?
Oh, I don't think that really solves that problem at all.
But it could, couldn't it? Couldn't you have a vision?
I could. It might say, like, if I was to guess, he's probably one of the things in this series of visions I'm having. Maybe he's the lamb.
Describe them.
Maybe the shepherd.
I don't think you told us about your visions.
Oh, yeah,
have you
here. And I'll present the drawings and the poem thing in sequential order about the shepherd, who's actually a wolf, and the flock of sheep, and the lamb that's off to the side, and the sheepdog in the latest one that is dead or dying.
A lupusol, a wolf bear.
I think it's just a sheepdog, but maybe.
Because Mac's pretty mean, and he's older than us too.
But he's not a shepherd, exactly. A professor would be.
Like, the professor's been taking him from class to class. He can't find him right now. He's been guiding him around, so either he's the one who's been planning something bad as a wolf shepherd, or he's the sheepdog that's going to be in trouble soon.
Yes, let's assume he's the sheepdog. He is new. Who was it that he was talking to about his concerns and difficulties?
Professor Ames.
Professor Ames.
The Defense Against Dark Arts
Yes,
teacher.
he was speaking to Professor Ames earlier today about his concern and lack of confidence in his role here. He is not the shepherd of the entire flock, but there are others.
I don't think Professor Ames likes Carter.
No, of course he wouldn't. So, first, did you see the lamb die or otherwise come to a bad end?
Not yet. But
Then-
it's clearly separated.
Yes.
That's not
been
good.
done. So the immediate threat is to the professor. We should find him.
Let's see. Hold on. I look around for Izzy quick. It's time to pump for information.
Okay. She's chatting up some people. Sees you waver over.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
So, Professor
Levi.
Do you think anyone doesn't like him here at school?
So what I've heard is Professor Stillwell lost his daughter in the raid.
Oh.
She was a Lexor, and Professor Levi was her fiance.
Dang. It sucks.
Yeah, I just found that out today.
Who told you that?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna name my source.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Any rate, well, she knows about these. I say to the group, pointing out the things here. So, like, if we're thinking that maybe the lamb was Calder and the sheepdog was Professor Levi, so who would be the guy who's like shepherding, but actually a wolf causing problems? We might be wrong on who's who, though. I'm working on that. I looked up the potions.
Well, so your theory is that the sheepdog and the shepherd are teachers?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just because Levi's been shepherding around Calder the whole time. That seems like a thing.
That makes sense. So, I mean, he is the closest to Calder. So he could totally be the wolf in shepherd's clothing.
I mean, maybe. He still hasn't found Calder.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Mr. Samer? I don't know. That he has to go to counseling. But there's Professor Stillwell. Probably doesn't like Calder very much.
Yeah. Hey, it's weird that if someone's like, cult killed your fiance, that you would just go around and shepherd them around school. Like, it's okay. Like, what is up with that?
Well, it could also be, what if the wolf is a cultist and they're trying to bring him back to the cult?
I mean, that's a pretty good read.
Or maybe they're just trying to kill him. I don't know.
It seems like
Could just be someone
it
that's
could
mad.
represent, in fact, two separate people who might have those different goals. Yeah. No, it's definitely weird, I think. I guess he's just a chill guy otherwise. But you said he was still looking,
I
right?
don't know. He's new. What's that?
For Phineas, he was still looking, right?
Yes. I think he's in danger. He's there to guard the lamb, like the sheepdog. The shepherd is someone whose job is to protect the entire flock. Someone like a defense against dark magic. Professor, for example. Someone who
Professor ain't.
someone who chose Professor Levi specifically to watch over Calder. It was his plan.
When did you guys last see him?
When he left because someone had stolen Kel's book and plastered the prophecies all over school. Like everyone else, we just assumed that he had gone off on his own. That was probably part of the plan. So whether directly or indirectly, those bullies are responsible for everything that's happening and everything that's yet to come.
And they know about the lamb prophecies as well.
Those came today. Those are
I
in
don't-
Kel's current notebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't know about that. Well, we could always go find one of them. Confront them.
One of the bullies?
Yes.
Bullies, you mean like Tobias and McMack and all them?
Yes.
I can win the fight this time.
No, I don't suggest we fight them.
I don't think we should fight.
We
I
could,
think it'd be
however,
bad
impress
if
upon
we-
them the importance of revealing everything that they know. Or we raise the general alarm that we have reason to believe that Professor Levi is in danger.
When's the last time you saw Professor Levi?
However long ago I saw him. It wouldn't have been long, because I came straight here.
This potion of the seer, do you think it would get us more information?
Probably.
Well, could maybe ask Mateo to help with the potion. He's good at that stuff.
But we need ingredients, right, Gals?
Yeah, we do. We have to get him from Stillwell's classroom. Or we could see if Miss Mesmer had any in her room.
Aspen, what do you think we should do?
Uh, I don't know. I can cause a distraction.
Maybe you shouldn't. Didn't you get in like extra double dog trouble or something?
Yeah.
Because you started a fight?
Uh-huh.
We probably don't need a distraction.
But if we
Wait,
are
so
having police, then perhaps Aspen can intimidate them, even if we don't need a fight.
that is true. You just gotta not throw the first punch.
Yeah. They throw the first punch and we will be good.
Hmm. Throwing the second punch is a rules infraction, and your suspended punishment would come to bear.
Or I just don't throw any punches at all and just take all the beating.
If you want a distraction, Mojo's your guy.
Hmm.
Who's Mojo?
He's this like prankster. His older brother just graduated and the teachers were really excited, but he's basically just like his older brother. He has all these crazy gags and stuff. Or you could talk to Sammy. He can basically get you almost anything.
But he get us the herbs we need?
He could get you the herbs or at least get you somebody that can get them for you. I don't know what his turnaround time is.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Are the ingredients the sort of things that we could get ourselves from the forest or magizoology?
It would take too long. Because it's stuff like, you're not going to be able to find a feather of a very specific bird or the scales or the blood of some very, very specific animal in the forest without a lot of searching.
And Izzy has suggested who could help make the potion again?
Oh, Mateo. I mean, there's older kids that are good at potions, but I don't really have ins with them. But Mateo's family owns a potion shop.
Okay. And we know Mateo from...
He's in a couple of your classes.
Okay.
He's
Was
also
he
in
the
cooking
one at
club,
her
but I don't think
table?
Phineas-
He wasn't the one at her table during the potion thing incident, was he?
No, he's not in your potions class. They were gossiping in magizoology together. They didn't want anything to do with the animals.
Okay. All right. So,
Kels, you can see the
yes.
future. What do you think we should do?
Oh, I'm getting a vision now. It's to split up into teams and get all the things we need. Okay, so, who?
Savage, I love it.
Yeah, we should definitely split up into groups. So let's go. I'll go with Izzy, and we can talk to Sammy to see if he can get us the stuff. Or should Izzy go talk with Mateo to get the potion? If he can mix a potion, I guess we can talk to him later. It doesn't really matter until we get the stuff. And then we need to find the professor, right? To like make sure he isn't already dead or something.
We should find Professor Levi, and if we can't find Professor Levi, we should go to Professor Ames, because Professor Ames is defense against dark magic, and dark magic is afoot.
Okay. So how about the three of you go do that, and I'll see if I can secure us potion ingredients with Izzy. And I'll come back if we need to like do a crime or something. And break.
Cool. All right, who's doing what first? It'll all be happening simultaneously, obviously.
Do we?
If we're searching, would that be a help action to a primary searcher?
I mean, you can give them adversity tokens, but
That's true. So who of us who is the brainiest?
Kels.
Well, who of us that are searching for Professor Levi, who is the brainiest? I have a D8.
I have a D10.
That's right.
In retrospect, I did not split the group well, but listen, that's not the problem here.
It's fine. Aspen's good at finding things.
I also have a D10, so if Aspen would like to search, then we can help.
Okay.
So I have a help action. One of my character things is that when I give you a diversity token, you get to take 2. So I'm going to spend 1, and you get +2 from me.
I would wait till they roll.
Yeah.
That way you're not wasting them on nothing.
Got a 4.
We have boons.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to re-roll that?
Let me say, you guys are searching for Professor Levi, right? That's your thing?
Yes. You want to use that? You use a major boon to re-roll that, Aspen?
We'll do... It's going to be a difficulty of 18. So, good luck. You might want to just not use that boon.
Yeah, I'm good.
So he's gone, is what we learn.
Somewhere that you wouldn't know to look, at the very least.
Obviously, that secret club room that Gustav had heard about on the train.
Partying with the prefects.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we have to go find Professor Ames. Does that require a look, or does that just...
Difficulty 17.
Got it.
And we do get to reroll if Aspen gets 10. No, sorry, not reroll, add to it. It explodes.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth rolling, but it only if Aspen gets a 10 on the first roll.
I mean, technically, if you fail a thing, you get an adversity token.
That's true.
So you want me to roll?
Might as well.
Okay.
10, 10, 10.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you tried.
Yeah, we can't get it. We can't get it higher than that. I mean,
Aspen got 2 adversity tokens as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Kels, you're going with Izzy to where?
I want to go
Sammy?
talk to Sammy and see if we can get some goods.
Okay. He's kind of in the dungeon area outside the kitchens. And, against the wall, like trying to look nonchalant, but obviously looks very sus.
Flipping a
You up
coin,
to-
maybe.
Yeah, toothpick in the mouth. What can I do for you, ladies?
Hey, so my friend Izzy here told me you can get us stuff, right?
Get you almost
So-
anything for the right price.
Oh, price. Kel's thinking very hard about how 0 money she has. Any rate, she carries on. Yeah, so I am in need of some ingredients for a potion. And she'll
What kind of
show
potion
him
we
the
talking?
list.
All right.
She'll just show.
It's a tall order. What do you, I got a guy that could probably get me this stuff, but, what do you got to offer?
Well, let me think. Do I think Aspen has money?
Aspen might have some money.
I could have brought her
I don't know how much her parents are giving her to go take to school.
Listen, I don't have much in the way of straight cash, but I can get information. I'm a bit of a a seer, if you will, and maybe if I get this potion, I can get you some test scores. I've written some down before. I'm sure I can make it happen.
Answers to the test, huh?
Yeah.
How accurate we talking?
It's about 50% chance that everything's on the test exactly as the answers are. The other chance is that you're going to use it as a pretty good study guide because it's going to be almost the same question.
Tough to sell a 50% chance.
You'll probably sell it as encephalons. That's actually pretty good. A study guide. The best thing Kels can think of. A study guide. She loves it. I have other information too. I can get you first on any pertinent visions around the school. That information usually goes well.
So what you're proposing is a favor.
Yes.
Favors don't fill pockets, but suppose since this is the first time, maybe I'll be nice. Tell you what, it's gonna take me some time to get these ingredients. I gotta get my guy to go get them. What's the turnaround time you're looking for?
As soon as possible?
As soon as possible costs extra. Just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna get my guy. He's gonna get these ingredients. This is the full list, right?
Yes.
All right. You have any visions to test? Test answers. I want them. You have any pertinent information? You come to me with it. It's gonna be my info. Okay?
Yes.
Going forward. I'm doing this big favor for you.
Yeah, it is. Thanks.
At a really speedy timeline. That's not easy. I'm risking a lot here. So is my guy. He's gonna have to go get these. Don't ask how.
My lips are sealed.
All right, so meet me, let's see. Meet me back here in about an hour and a half. That work?
Yeah, that should work.
All right. He's gonna walk off. He's gotta go make some deals himself.
All right. I'm like, well, that went well. I only owe unspecified favors. This will be perfect.
I was gonna make you do a charm roll, but Izzy's is high enough that she would have been able to jump in and get it. So.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Izzy.
All right. What else are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to go look for them because they obviously found the professor by now. It only took a little bit, and we have an hour and a half till the deal, so...
Yeah, I think in that process, Miss Gecko is the only other person that I can think of to tell, but someone needs to know. And
Aspen,
go ahead.
Aspen would like to apologize to her sister.
Oh yeah, your parents have definitely heard about this. That you heard Drakenor, and you immediately started a fight on the first day. So what exactly do you tell Miss Greco?
Well, we believe that the group of bullies stole Kel's prophecies and made copies with the intent of humiliating Calder. We believe they probably did this with some influence from someone else. Later prophecies revealed that there is a immediate danger to Professor Levi, that Calder has been separated, to what end we don't know, and that someone who is meant to be a shepherd to the entire flock of students is in fact a wolf. We have looked for Professor Levi. He is gone. We believe, due to my friend here overhearing a conversation that Professor Ames might in fact be the wolf in sheep clothing, he is also mysteriously absent.
Oh, okay. I will go talk to somebody about this. Do you tell her that you think they took him to the forest or anything?
Yes, we don't know precisely where, but clearly the most logical choice would be to take him somewhere that students aren't allowed to go. And if something untoward were to befall him, it would make sense that the Forbidden Forest would provide the best cover.
Okay.
Although there may
well,
be secret chambers throughout this facility that
There
we're not
is.
aware of.
I will inform who needs to be informed. Do not go into the forest. You've done your part. Let the adults handle it from here on out. You can still keep looking for Calder in the castle, but don't do anything that's going to break school rules or put yourself in danger. Okay? I'm going to have the adults work on this, okay?
Sure.
She's going to tell who needs to be told, and they may take it as seriously or unseriously as they will.
And then we meet back up with Kels.
And Izzy, presumably.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so someone's going to be getting us the ingredients, and I'm going to meet them in an hour and a half or so. Maybe an hour by now. Who knows? I guess we need to talk to Mateo to help with making this. You might, right, Izzy?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty complicated potion, so
Yeah. So
wouldn't want to mess it up. Then we'd have to get all new ingredients again.
Yeah, that I don't think I have any. So, hey, Aspen, do you have any money? No
Do
reason.
I have money?
How much would your parents have given you while you're at school? Like, just a little bit of spending money? Maybe. Probably nothing
Sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
She might have a little bit of pocket money.
Right.
Okay.
Izzy might have the same amount.
Yeah, because if we're going to need to do this again, I think I'm going to need actual money. So I guess keep at. Oh, your parents aren't going to send you anything else, are they?
You're probably pretty angry with Aspen right now.
Yeah, it may need to take some time before they give me anything.
Well, we'll keep them. But so you didn't find him, either of them?
No, they're both mysteriously missing,
No.
which I take to mean that our suspicions may be correct.
Yeah, it does seem about right. Well, I guess let's go talk to Mateo and keep a lookout for Cal or whatever. I guess we could go check his room or something because he's in our area. Izzy.
There may be evidence there.
Maybe.
Cool. So you guys go look around Calder's room. He has a little bat familiar, a little tiny bumblebee bat.
Oh. Cute. And give it a
you
snack.
You
Is
don't
the
see
bat familiar
too-
distressed?
Good question.
just it looks and it's expecting Calder to come into the room, but it's not Calder, so it's very shy as far as seeing you guys come in, so it kind of flies up out of reach to stay away from you.
And I try to speak to it.
You have wild speak, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi. I'm Aspen. Don't be afraid. We're friends of Calder.
Calder doesn't. I'm friends with Calder.
Do you know where Calder is?
No. Do you know where Calder is?
No, we're trying to find Calder.
I haven't seen him since lunch.
Has been asking to come help look for him.
Would you like to come help us look for him?
Outside?
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Give me a charm roll. We'll say difficulty 8.
I'm using a major boon to reroll. I got a 9. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. He looks at you and it seems like he's contemplating a bit and he's reluctantly like, okay. And he'll fly out and he'll probably like if you go on his finger, he'll sit on that. He's very small.
Yeah, if we go to a place where familiars aren't supposed to be out, just like hide under her collar or something. Or under her hair in the back. I remember you got a tiny bat on you, Aspen, before you start a fight again.
Will do.
Cool, but I guess he hasn't been here since lunch, so he never did make it to his room. You right about that, Phineas? I guess we'll traipse out and look for Mateo.
Is there a place between his room and the classroom that's usually deserted?
Well, defense against dark arts or defense against dark magic is in the basement, like in the dungeons. So it's pretty far to because cephalons are kind of near astronomy tower, so it's a pretty long way.
Perhaps we should retrace from the dormitory to the classroom and look for signs of a disturbance.
Yes,
That's
assuming he was
fair.
coming here. And my intuition says that this is where he would have come. So yes, let's do that.
Cool. So you guys are just essentially retracing the steps, looking for anything suspicious.
Yep. Anything weird?
Yeah.
Give me a brains roll. Yeah.
I assume that will be Kel's.
What's the difficulty?
I'm not going to tell you because then you guys figure out what
Okay.
that means. Because, like, if I say difficulty 20, then that means there's nothing there. Or if I say, rather than you just missed it.
I got a 9.
Okay, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Are you looking super hard?
Yeah, definitely.
Could you be looking harder?
Can we help?
Now, are you checking just the hallways? Or are you checking every classroom on the way?
Well, I'm probably checking just the hallways. based on the role, because I'm definitely thinking about looking for things and not also just how to make a potion later.
I'm thinking more about what are obvious points to snatch someone. So blind corners, areas with, like, if there are classrooms or closets or other passageways where it makes sense to. I mean, I have some experience with people being kidnapped.
I mean, there's so many doors on the way that he could have been pulled in anywhere if he was pulled in somewhere.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I think your oracular powers then, Kels, are what we have to rely on.
Yeah. Yep. Don't
Then
worry. Good.
I was just going to say, let's get the ingredients then. Meet up with the.
Yeah, it takes some time for you guys to kind of search those hallways and everything. That it's getting about time to meet Sammy.
All right. I'll go meet with him then. We gotta find a place to do this too, because I don't know if we can just go into the potions classroom and then be like, wait, where did you get these from? You know, that kind of thing.
All right. So you go and meet Sammy. It's like they're in your room.
Oh.
Couldn't be
Okay.
seen carrying it around, so we decided to deliver it to your dorm.
Cool. Thanks.
Don't ask how we got in there, but they're in there.
No questions. All right. Cool. I'll just back away and head to my room.
All right. And all the ingredients are there, but it's just enough to make one potion, so got to make it count.
All right.
Did you send Izzy to get Mateo?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So she brought Mateo. She meets you in your dorm.
Yeah.
It's like, so I heard you guys need help with a potion, huh?
Yeah. It's a bit more advanced than we learned on exactly one day of potions classes.
Yeah. Can I see what you're trying to make?
Yeah.
So he looks, he's like, oh. Okay. He looks around, he's kind of sizing up your room. He's like, there's a lot of people in here. We might need to get some room. We'll definitely need to open your window because you don't want it. Otherwise, we're all going to be in a trance from the vapors getting trapped in the room.
Ooh.
Cool.
If it helps, I heard that the prefects have a secret party room that might be big enough for a potion in.
Do you know where it is?
I didn't hear that bit.
Pin in that. For now, I think maybe we could just do it here. I would lock the door, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna need some heat. We should do it by the window. Okay. I need to find his stats. Hold on. But this won't be difficult for him because he's done these things before. Okay, yeah, that was easy. All right. So he gets to work on making the potion. And you can see there's a little bit of nuance to like the list, like, because in the book it's by the book, but it's kind of confusing as to what it means to stir exactly once or in what motion. So it's useful to see.
I'm taking notes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's useful to see him do it. Give me a grit roll.
Love it. That's a 6.
Okay, cool. All right, so you're paying attention, you're watching him. You can already feel it kind of like, you're like, um, and you start to scribble down little things, but then he finishes the potion, stops the heat on the cauldron and everything, gets it into the little vial. He's like, okay, it's ready. I'm like 90% sure it's good to go.
What's the 10% for?
I haven't really, I mean, I've done a lot of potions, but I haven't really done this one specifically.
Well, that's fine. You seem to follow everything just fine. Excellent technique, by the way.
Thank you. It's like, I like to cook. It's kind of like just following a recipe.
Yeah, cool. Well, anyway, do you want to stick around or? Because I'm going to drink this.
I can leave if you want me to.
It's up to you. I know Izzy wants to see what happens.
Why don't you stick around in case we need to brew an antidote or something very quickly?
Oh, okay.
We have 0 ingredients, but that's good thought, Phidias. All right, cheers.
I would like to take notes of whatever's Kel's doing under the potion.
Yes.
Oh, well, she has a fantastical vision. Give me a grit roll really quick. Or no, give me a brains roll. And how low or high it is will determine exactly what you see. You might want to burn some adversity tokens.
I'm going to burn a major boon, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we got one of those.
We do.
Because I'm not putting a specific difficulty on it, because you'll, just depending how high it is how much you will.
Man, that wasn't much higher either, but I think I'll stick with that. So I rolled an 11, but I'm going to burn some adversity on this because I've stacked up a bit. Let's see. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We'll go with 18.
Gustav, I think that our combined well wishes can help even more, don't you think?
Sure.
How would you help?
I am taking notes.
To capture all the little pieces to make sure that the vision is recorded in detail as opposed to relying on Kels's memory. And I'm super spooky. And I've seen people have visions and things before. So trying to cast your mind out. Yes, no, let go. Don't worry about it. You're not here. You're at one with the flow of time and the future and the past. Let it wash through you. Don't resist.
Cool. Well, your vision reveals something that you will find out next time.
Ooh.
Because it is 2:00, so.
Exciting.
Thank you for running.
Suspense.
So you start to have a vision. I see it all. Fade to black.
Exactly.
Perfect timing.
Yep. All right. So we'll go around the horn. I'm SJ or SJ Sidekick. I don't stream, but I'm here a lot. Wearing sunglasses because I have some light sensitivity after a light concussion, but I'm good. I think I did okay. I don't think I did anything too spacey. Yeah. Kels. Misha.
Great. I am Misha or Misha_lesson3 or at Misha Weha on Twitter, which is Misha with a WEHA at the end. You'll see me here next time for the Root RPG, where we'll probably round out with an excellently planned wedding on Thursday. And then not next week, but the week after is when we'll have the conclusion to this one. I'll be looking forward to see what that vision is, see how much school crime we've done. Below me was Hatter, who had to leave for an emergency. And then we'll go to Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin or sinful__potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I post arts to Instagram. I exist on Twitter and post stuff to the YouTubes, and I stream on Twitch. The next stream I have is next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, playing my Masks game with cool people and fun times. The next time you'll see me here will be Thursday for Roots as Fritz, the cat that likes chaos. Twy?
I'm Twi'lek. I have been playing as Gustav. Next week, well, week after next, I shall be playing as Gustav again. And hopefully, I shall do something impressive. Zero.
Yeah, I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael. You can catch me usually a couple times a week here. And then many Sundays in the afternoons over the Justice TV program and Licity channels. So far, it looks like we are going to play, but there's a question about who else going to stream it, so it might actually be live here. But regardless, come and check back, and I'll tweet it out and drop it in the Discord, like exactly which channel or channels will be broadcasting. But I think we're playing Bronin the Brobarian, so a very serious, gritty game that won't be a bunch of silly things. And Mega's definitely not playing Willow. It'll be fine. So yeah, and then all the other kind of upcoming things have been mentioned, and then we've got a bunch of other stuff that is in the process of scheduling, including an Alien 1 or 2 shot that our lovely friend Grognard's going to run for us. So that'll be depressing and gory and horrifying, but good nonetheless. So yeah, stay tuned as we fill out the summer schedule. I don't think anyone that we know is currently up and running. But let me double check, because I thought maybe Meg would be, but she isn't. So you know what? I think we aren't going to raid out. I think we're just going to say, everyone go take a break, get some food, whatever, and then come back and join us in about an hour at some combination of Licity, Justice TV, and possibly here. Cool. Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming and playing. Thanks for coming and showing up and all the resubs and stuff. And we will see you all soon. Bye.